Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we read from Bhagavad-Gita this evening. Second chapter, text 4. Arjuna Vacha Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Pucharhau Adi Sudana Arisudana Katam Bhishmam Maham Sankhye Katam Bhishmam Maham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Pucharhau Arisudana Pucharhau Arisudana Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Pucharhau Arisudana. Bhishma. Aham. I. Sankhye. In the fight. Dronam. Drona. Cha. Also. Madhusudana. O killer of Madhu. Ishubhi. With arrows. Pratiyochyami shall counter attack. Pucha are how? Those who are worshipable. Arisudana. O killer of the enemies. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Purport. Respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counter-attacked. It is general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered even a verbal fight or argument. Even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counter-attack them? Would Krishna ever attack his own grandfather Ugrasen or his teacher Sandipani Muni? These were some of the arguments offered by Arjuna to Krishna. Arjuna Vacha Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Pucharhau Arisudana. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Om Agyatimaranyasya Kananchana Salakyam Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svavatantikam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodidao Gaudadaya Pushpavanto Chitta Shanda Tamonadao Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnebhya Namo Namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chakapate Gopisha Gopika Kantarada Kanta Namostate. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare. So I will read also previous verse, text 3. Yesterday's verse, because this is interrelated with this one, or with the argument of Arjuna. Klaivyam ma sma gama pata naita tvai upapadyate kshudram hridaye daurbalyam tyaktvo tishta parantapa. These words are spoken by Krishna. Mild challenge or little chastisement to Arjuna, pointing out with his finger his weak point of Arjuna. So he told him, "Oh, son of Pritha." So he reminded him about his mother's side. Pritha is a name of Kunti. So Krishna pinpointed to him, "Oh, son of Pritha, you are son of a very great mother, Kunti, who was never afraid. She was personally taking care of her children after her husband's death." I mentioned that last lecture, how she alone, single-handedly grew them up after Pandu's death, premature death. So she is a great hero. Although she is a woman, she is one of the great Vedic personalities. Kunti, Draupadi, Gandhari, Tapasvini, like that. There are about five of them, very prominent in Mahabharata. Savitri also, and the wife of Ravana. So they were great. They became very great women, recognized by all the great personalities, by all the people, because of their chastity, because of their loyalty to the husband and to their family. Like in the previous days, topic in Bhagavatam class was Tridharma, the occupation or the duty of a woman, her chastity, her dedication to the husband. So they became very powerful, these ladies, because of their devotion to the husband, and also devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially Pritha. So Krishna addresses Arjuna as son of Pritha. Do not yield to this degrading impotence. It's not fitting you, because Kunti never showed such a weakness, and she is a woman. And you are a Kshatriya, man, grown up, not a child anymore. So she is she gave you already the whole program in your birth, in your life. Because of her strictness, because of her dedication. So this must also be in your gains, in your body, in your life. So how can this impotence, can this weakness overcome you? It is not fitting to becoming to you as a son, a descendant, as a son of Kunti, Prita. Give up, therefore give up this petty weakness of the heart. Hridaya daurbalyam, this weakness of the heart. Give it up. Because it's became manifested out of your narrow-mindedness, of your weakness, of your miserliness, your selfishness. You think only about your feeling, about what you think is right. But this is not the Kshatriya way. That was not your mother's way. She always performed her duty, her dharma, properly. So you as good son should do the same. Therefore arise, O chastiser of the enemy, Parantapa. At this point we also have to still remember that Krishna and Arjuna didn't surrender at this point to Krishna and accept him as Guru. This will only come about 3-4 verses later in this chapter, where Arjuna surrenders and accepts Krishna as Guru. Because if he accepts a superior personality as Guru, as a teacher, then you have to surrender unto him. You cannot argue with him anymore. Cannot challenge him anymore. You cannot doubt anymore. Before you surrender, you can have doubt. But if you surrender, you should not have doubt anymore. Then it's everything clear. Otherwise, better don't choose Guru and surrender, because you're not ready. Just because it's somebody else did it, and it's a fashion. So Arjuna first had to become a little reprimanded by Krishna himself, because they were good friends since childhood, same age. It's also very important, they had the same age. So therefore naturally Arjuna and Krishna at this point, they were good friends. Krishna chose the occupation of charioteer, Sarati, and Arjuna became the archer, because that's his speciality. That was his quality as a kshatriya. That's where he specialized himself. He became the best of the archers. And from whom he heard? Who has the phone here on? I cannot understand. What was the point? No, that's before. Already a little more advanced. Huh? Arjuna was a perfect archer. And from whom he learned archery? Drona. Drona Acharya. He was a Brahmana. But he was not a Brahmana in the science of yagya, sacrifices, or deity worship. Yagya, sacrifices, or in Vedic knowledge to understand Brahman, or the absolute truth, to become liberated, to understand what is material, what is spiritual. That was not his speciality. He was a Brahmana of Dhanurveda, of martial art. Because they also have their teachers. Army have their teachers, their instructors. Shiksha Guru, instructing Guru, who teach you how to do military art. In America they have instructors, very heavy guys. You have to go through heavy school. And little insubmissivity gives a heavy punishment. So you have to demand full surrender. Full surrender to learn this art. And Arjuna, he was one of Drona, he had many disciples. Actually, how it came? Because Drona, in his childhood, he had a friend, Drupad. He was a king, a prince. He would become the future king. And Drona, he was in the same school. And they learned these different sciences, of politics, how to make peace, how to make war. All these different sub-Vedas they learned. Vedic literatures and sub-Vedas they learned. And but they were very thick friends, very nice friends, Drupad and Drona. And Drupad became so much felt so much affection to Drona that he promised him, when I will become the king, I will give you half of my kingdom to you. And of course, he gave this promise to a Brahmana. A Kshatriya who is giving a promise to a Brahmana, both are very strict in their vows and in their promises. So when the time came ripe, when Drupad's father died, and he became the next king, Drona, he remembered about this childhood promise, and he went to the kingdom of Drupad. And he reminded Drupad about his promise. But Drupad, he did as he would not know anymore. He did not remember. And he said, oh, this was in childhood, this was not seriously. But you cannot give such a promise to a Brahmana even in childhood. And later on relativated and say it was not meant like that. Because what do you want to do with the kingdom? You're a Brahmana. You should be selfless, detached. What is the use of a kingdom for you? So he rejected. But he agreed. You're my guest for tonight. I will give you some prasadam. And be satisfied and then go home. And of course Drona, he was Kshatriya, he could not take this upon himself. His ego grew up, but he didn't know what to do. Because he was in this moment in a helpless situation, although he was Brahmana, and he didn't want to curse. That was not the way and the idea at that time. But later on it so happened that these Pandavas and the Kauravas, they came to a well. Actually, they play ball they were playing ball, not football, but some kind of ball play. And they made, and the ball fell down in a well, deep well. So and the boys, they were all boys. And that time they didn't know how to take out the ball. They all figured out how to bring out this ball from the well. Now we cannot play anymore. They were frustrated. So this Brahmana Drona comes and he asks the boys, what's the matter, boys? Oh, we have our ball down here in the well. We cannot play anymore. Oh, no problem. So I will help you. So he released an arrow, took his bow arrow, and he shot without looking at the ball, because just by shabda, by sound, he can release an arrow and shoot the target without seeing it. And then he releases a second arrow, targeting it on the end of the other arrow, first arrow, then another arrow, another arrow, another arrow. And this way he had a whole chain of arrows, and he took up the bow. And all the princes were completely amazed. Wow! We are Kshatriyas, we are we don't know this art. This is far out. We never have seen and heard about something like that. So they became very much impressed by Drona, and they thought, we would also like to learn this art from him. How to release an arrow without looking at the target. So they all chose Drona as guru, as their teacher, to learn the art of arrow, releasing arrows with the bow. Archer, this archery science, they learned from him. Later on, when they had, and from all these different, many of disciples he had, Shishyas, pupils, Arjuna was outstanding. Because sometimes in the night, Arjuna was training archery, shooting arrows without seeing the target. Actually, at that point, his guru didn't teach this art so much, because he didn't want it that that Arjuna will become the best archer. He actually preferred Ashvatthama to become better. His son, Drona's son, is Ashvatthama. So he preferred that my son will become outstanding archer, the best of all the classmates. But then he saw Arjuna. He was training in the night, releasing this kind of arrows by sound, shooting a target without looking at it. So his guru wondered. He asked him, "From where you learned that? I didn't teach you yet." So Arjuna says, one time light went out in the night. And I don't remember, I wanted to grasp something. And I could immediately get this article, get it, even without that I could see it, because light went out. And the thing is, Drona always gave an advice, never let arrange, that Arjuna will have a light going out, because in this way he will get the idea to learn this art immediately. So, but Arjuna, it happened, light went out, and he learned how to still find the article, bow and arrow. So he got the idea, if I can do this in this way, then I can also release target, without seeing it, just by sound. So when his guru Drona realized this seriousness and training and rehearsal and of Arjuna in this art, so he embraced him and he gave him the blessing. He will become the best of all the archers, because in 24 hours, day and night, he was learning that. So anyway, after they all finished their training, these disciples, Drona asked them for Guru Dakshin, because it's duty to disciple to show thankfulness to Guru, to give him Dakshina, giving him something dear. Not necessarily donation, but anything that the Guru asks you, you have to be ready to give. So what Drona asked, so now you're my Shishyas, you're trained, you're finished now with the education. So I like now I want to have Dakshina from you, that you go to Drupad's kingdom and conquer it. So they could not. This was quite a challenge also for Arjuna, because Arjuna and Drupada, his family, this was some kind of good connection, very high range of king, Drupada. So it was also a challenge for Arjuna, but Arjuna could not doubt it, and therefore he surrendered with all his other brothers and also the Kurus, and they conquered the kingdom of Drupada and gave him over to Drona. So when Drona and Drupada met, so he told him, so I will give you half of I will keep my promise, I will give you half of my kingdom. I will keep my share for myself, and one kingdom part I give to you. And this was of course too much for Drupada, because Drupada, Kshatriya, he cannot tolerate defeat. Better to die than to become defeated alive in such an ungracious way, ungrateful way. So he decided, I will kill this Drona somehow or other. I will kill him, but how? So therefore he considered, I can only kill him if I worship. Actually, he went to two sages who lived in the forest, ascetics. He went to them, two brothers. And Datu, somebody knows the name? Datu. Anyway, two brothers. And he obliged them and requested them, please make a yagya for me, that I can have a son who will become so powerful that he can kill Drona. And these two brahmanas, they were, of course, was their interest. They get also payment for that, because they know it's king, so they get a good dakshina, good salary, if they can please the king. So they did that. They made a yagya, and out of this yagya, two personalities appeared. Not only one boy, but also a girl, a female. That means Draupadi. And the other one, the boy, was named Drishtadyumna. So they were actually born from the yagya. And they were meant, actually, the boy, Drishtadyumna, he was meant to kill Drona, not Arjuna. Arjuna's duty was only to fight against Drona, because Drona chose this other side. They also have a problem here. Didn't know that one is online here. So, what was the point? Now I lost it again.
Arjuna wasn't supposed to kill Arjuna.
Yeah, Arjuna was not supposed to kill, it was Drishtadyumna. And Drishtadyumna and Draupadi was later on chosen by Arjuna and the Pandavas. So she became the wife of the 5 Pandavas, because when the 5 Pandavas came home, Kunti was not in that Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi, when she could choose her husband by a match of all the great princes, where they had to shoot an arrow indirectly, shooting the eyes of a fish by looking in the water, moving water. So Arjuna only could do this task, and he won't drop at his hand. But then when they came home, this the Panda was told to Kunti, just see what kind of trophy we have. Then Kunti said, whatever trophy you got, my dear sons, you should share it equally amongst each other. But when they heard, but then they became very shocked, because it was actually Arjuna who won Draupadi. When they heard, the mother decided all of them have to share it. And then when the mother also saw it was this beautiful lady, Draupadi, who was like a demigoddess, like a Lakshmi, beautiful and most beautiful girl in that time. So she was also in the beginning surprised, but then because she gave the word, you should share whatever it is, you should share it amongst each other. So she didn't change this word. That's the Dharma. Whatever it was spoken, it was spoken. It was not changed. That's Mahabharata. So this way, the Pandavas got Drupad on their side, on the battle. Drona was on the other side, of course, because he could not make friendship with Drupad, because Drupad conquered him, and it was already known that Drupad's son will kill him. Even Drona knew, and later on Duryodhana even chastised his general and own teacher. He chastised him before the war, Or just see what kind of wonderful army the intelligent son of Drupad arranged here on the battlefield, because he became the general-in-chief, Drupad, from the not Drupad, Drupad's son, Drishtadyumna. From very beginning on, he was the general-in-chief until the end. For 18 days. He survived practically. For the 18 days, the Kauravas, they had to change the generals one after another, about 3, 4, 5 times. They had because they lost one after another. First Bhishma, then Drona, then another one, and then another one. But Drishtadyumna was undefeatable. He got special power, special protection. And he was meant to kill Drona. And so Drishtadyumna, Drona could not take the side of Drishtadyumna, because that was the destiny, that he will kill him. But the chastisement was that Duryodhana chastised Drona. Why you accepted this son of Drupad as a disciple, although you knew he will kill you? You gave him this whole science. And this shows actually the quality of a Brahmana. A Brahmana is ready to teach and to give this science of knowledge, whatever he has, to a surrendered disciple. And Drishtadyumna was surrendered. So he could not, Drona could not reject him. He accepted him, although he knew later on he will use this same science that I taught him against me and will kill me. So this is the Kshatriya codex. No fear, no Kripana mentality. And they were ready to teach whoever comes, to give them this whole science. So therefore, Drona was against the Pandava by this kind of arrangement. And the Bhishma Dev is another story. Bhishma Dev is the grandsire of the Kurus. He actually should be the protector of the Pandavas after Pandu's death. But somehow or other he became more and more, fell under the influence of Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. And ultimately he could, and especially although he was a very great soul and very learned in the Dharma, in the proper behavior and conduct in the Vedic culture, he could not decide what to do when Draupadi was in difficulties and the Kurus wanted to strip her naked and to blaspheme her and humiliated her openly in the assembly of very honorable personalities. So that was too much. Therefore, Krishna decided even Bhishma, he has to die on the battlefield. So everyone knew Drona and Bhishma because they were not protecting the Pandavas in their great anxieties, and also not Draupadi, the most chaste woman in that time. They didn't protect her, they didn't protect the Pandavas, although they knew they were actually devotees of the Lord, of Lord Krishna. So therefore they had to choose the wrong side, against the Pandavas, against Krishna's interest, and ultimately therefore had to die on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So there was no escape. And Arjuna, after Krishna is chastising him mildly, pointing out about his weakness of the heart, he wanted to counteract with the argument, and he became very confused because it's a conversation with the Lord, soul to soul. This goes very fast, It's not, you cannot think much. You can have no time, for finding out what to say and what not to say. It goes like a film. So he could, and the whole discussion of these 700 verses, between the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna was what I heard about 1 hour. That means in 1 hour, 700 verses. Every, Gita Jayanti, we recite the 700 verses, but we need 1.5, 2 hours to recite, But this was very fast. Therefore, Arjuna, many times he repeated himself. Madhusudana, Arisudana. For example, here he uses 2 times killer of enemy. Madhusudana is an enemy. He's the Adi demon, Adi Asura, in the beginning of the creation of Brahma's day. And Kaitava, Madhu Kaitava appeared, the first demons in the universe. Brahma felt a little sleepy still, and the Vedas dropped out from his hand and from his mouth. Yawning, Vedas dropped out, and these 2 demons, they kidnapped the Vedas to take an interest for themselves. But the demons, they should not have this confidential information of the Vedas. They anyway cannot understand it. It's meant for brahmanas, for highly trained brahmanas. So this immediately the Lord appeared as Madhusudana, Hayagriv, who came, to kill Madhu and Kaitava and bring back the Vedas, to bring it back to Brahma. So Vishnu is known as Madhusudana, but is also known as Arisudana, Ari, the killer of enemy. So Krishna's mission is always to protect his devotees, to kill the enemies of the demigods and the devotees, and to protect the devotees. and to establish religious principles. This is the mission of Krishna when he comes, and also of all the avatars. So therefore Krishna is known also as the killer of Madhu, the killer of enemies. In Vrindavan he killed many enemies, many demons who came to make problems to the Prijapasis and also to Krishna and Balaram himself. So Krishna and Balaram together, they killed many demons themselves, and some of the demons were also killed by Krishna's empowered devotees, like Arjuna, Bhimasen, and others. They got this empowerment by Krishna that they could kill demons. Krishna didn't have to do everything himself. He also wanted to empower his devotees to do that. He has great fun to kill demons as a mission. That's Krishna's duty. When he is here in Vrindavan, he is also fighting with his friends, but this is more in a joyful mood, more in a mock fighting. But for Vishnu, there is no mock fight, because in Lord Narayana has no equal. Everyone is the supreme, and everyone is inferior, servant in Vaikuntha Loka. Therefore, Lord Narayana, sometimes he has to come to this material world if he has a desire to fight and to kill a demon or to challenge somebody. But Krishna not necessarily has to do that, because he has enough friends in the spiritual world, in Goloka, who are very eager to fight with him. Same age. Friends with the same age challenge Krishna for a fight, because they consider Krishna and we are equals. And I'm more powerful today, I will defeat you, I will challenge you. So this is the Sakya mood in the Goloka. But in Vaikuntha, it's mostly Dasya predominant, servitorship. Narayana is God and everyone else is his servant. And when he wants to fight with somebody, he has to come to the material world to execute his mission and to kill some demons like Madhu and Kaitava, or to kill enemies of the demigods. So therefore he is known as the killer of enemies, a killer of Madhu. And Arjuna addresses him 2 times in one verse, because he was too much confused. So the acharyas say he repeated himself twice, because he was so much in anxiety about what to do now and what not to do, because he had so many arguments, so many things rushed in his mind of ideas why he should not fight. Of course, this was all arrangement by Krishna's Maya, Yoga Maya, so that he could speak Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna. Because Arjuna previously already fought against the Kuru army single-handedly when they were in the 13th year of exile in the kingdom of, what's his name, Virat's kingdom. So the Kuru army, that means Bhishma and Drona, they also were there, and they attacked the kingdom of Virat's kingdom. So, and he single-handedly went there in disguise. He was in disguise. First he was charioteer and the prince of Virat's son, Uttara Kumar. That's his name, Uttara Kumar. So he actually wanted to fight, but when he saw all these mighty warriors, Atiratis and Maharatis in front of him, he became afraid. He wanted to go home again. But Arjuna was disguised as an eunuch, as a man-woman, and he was personally taking care, dancing master of the princesses in the palace for 1 year, because he learned this art in the heavenly planets, so he knew how to dance and teach this dancing. But then when this prince decided, I will go on the battlefield against the Kurus to defend our kingdom, because they wanted to steal all the cows from Virat, Uttara Kumar went, and Arjuna said, wait a minute, don't go alone, I will come with you, I will be your charioteer. But then when the prince became afraid, then Arjuna said, no, don't run away now, that's not the Kshatriya rule. I will fight. You be charioteer now, I will fight. So he got the bow and arrow, Gandiva bow, he was hiding it in a tree. And he took these bows and arrows, and then he single-handedly practically defeated the Kuru army. They could not recognize who he was, because Arjuna and the Pandavas should not become recognized for 1 year. Otherwise they had to go back again for 12 years in exile. So in this way, Arjuna was already exercised. He faced the Kuru army, so he was not afraid in that time, even if he would have to kill them. But now Krishna arranged by Yoga Maya that he became confused, he became very bewildered, and it was just the last phase before the battle started. And Krishna told him, just see, the army is already here. Drona is not thinking like that towards you, that you are his disciple and I will not fight against my disciple. Bhishma is not thinking like that. He's your grandsire, your well-wisher, but he doesn't think like that anymore now on the battlefield. They are all armed up to the teeth. They're ready, to kill you, to fight you, So your sentiment is not welcome now, so therefore fight. You have to fight. Don't be weak now. I cannot understand why you have to overcome this weakness. Therefore, take up your arms and your weapons and fight. They will not run away like you. You're out of sentiment and out of your, as Prabhupada later on in the purport mentions, Prabhupada was naturally kind and merciful and affectionate to everyone because he was a devotee. He was a devotee. Others were actually not devotees, or not. Although Bhishma Dev was a great devotee, but because he lost, he had to choose the wrong side. So he knew that he will become defeated anyway. Drona knew they will become defeated. But they could not make a step back. They had to go for it, because Kshatriyas, they cannot run away. They have to fight. So they were also in the dilemma. Of course, in the Bhagavad-Gita, we don't hear about the dilemma of Bhishma and Drona, what was going on in their mind. But we hear from Arjuna's side. Because it is important for us what Arjuna and Arjuna were speaking with, Krishna and Arjuna were speaking with each other. Because in this way, Bhagavad Gita became manifested also for our life, very important to fix ourselves up on the point to fight, to surrender to Krishna and to fight for the higher purpose, to become devotee of Krishna, and they can only fight against Maya. Maya is so-called the enemy, but we can only fight about the illusion if we are armed by the proper weapons given by Krishna and by Balaram, because they give us the weapon of knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Balaram gives us the power that we can carry this heavy weapon of Shastra, of knowledge given by Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada says, without mercy of Krishna Balaram, without mercy of Gornitai, our life's mission will not become successful. We cannot conquer our enemies. enemy ultimately is not just Maya, it is in ourselves, this illusion. I'm enjoyer. Is enjoying lust, greed, anger, illusion, madness. These are enemies. Narottam Das Thakur he says we have 6 enemies in ourselves. It's like a band of dacoits. So we have to learn how to defeat them. And how we can defeat them? By engaging them in devotional service. To become lusty or greedy, to associate with devotees, to serve Krishna, to engage in devotional service, to get darshan of deities, worship the deities, going to Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita classes or reading books. If we use this greed and lust for that, in this way we can convert this kind of lust and greed into devotional service in bhakti. Ultimately, what is lust and greed is only the perverted reflection from the real love to Krishna, prema, in the spiritual world. Here it is perverted, reflected. So if by the guidance of the Acharya, we learn how to engage all these enemies in the service of Krishna, lust, greed, anger. Anger means become angry against those who are against devotees, who are blaspheming devotees. We should not close our eyes. We have to defend them, or the acharyas, or our sampradaya. Devotee, if sampradaya means you have to defend, you have to protect your sampradaya from evil influence from outside who tries to destroy sampradaya. Kali Yuga, so many enemies in Kali Yuga. Kali Chelas want to destroy the bona fide sampradayas. And then so many upper sampradayas start to flourish. So therefore the devotees who are dedicating to Acharya line of Parampara, their duty is to fight for the Parampara, to protect the Parampara, to increase the family of the Parampara, or at least maintain it and try to increase it, to expand it. This is our duty. And to protect it from enemies, that no outside influence enters the Sampradaya who is not taught by the Sampradaya Acharyas. And especially not from our founder, from our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the gardener of the Bhakti Kalpa Vriksha tree. So he has a clear plan how to make everyone fortunate in this world, in the human society, by giving them the fruits of Krishna Prema. And he requests and instructs all his followers of the Chaitanya tree to take this fruit, relish yourself, and distribute it to others. That's the duty. Parata Bhumite Hoile Manusa Charmachara, Charma Sartata Karikara Para Upakara. And that's a must. It's not a can. I can, or maybe if I like, I can do it. And if I don't like, I maybe don't feel good now to do it. Or I have not the same opinion. So it's a must. If we are surrendered to the Sampradaya, to the Acharya of the Sampradaya, it's a must to expand this mission of the Sampradaya, and to protect this mission from the enemies who want to destroy it, who want to water it down with bogus mantras, with no proper conduct, no proper sadhana, making compromises, and relativate what actually our Acharya Sampradaya is giving us. So it means the enemies. This age, the enemies are not on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the enemies are inside of us, and those who have these enemies inside, who try to influence now this sampradaya because they don't like it. It's a thorn in their eyes because it is spreading. It's spreading all over the world and makes more and more devotees. So Kali Yuga and his dear friend Adharma, they cannot tolerate that. Actually, Adharma is more greater rascal than Kali. Kali is afraid of the Sankirtan movement, Adharma not. In the Chaitanya Chandradoya Nataka is described by Kavi Karnapur. When Kali hears about that Lord Chaitanya, about the Sankirtan, he becomes very much shocked. So he goes to Adharma and he tells him, hey, my dear friend, our handwork is finished. Our mission to pollute everyone in this age, with lust, greed, anger, and so on, and make them corrupt and quarrel. It is finished. Because now this Gora avatar appeared, who will spread the Sankirtan all over the world. But then Adharma, he tells to Kali, my dear friend, we don't have to be afraid, because this Brahmana boy Nimai, who is starting this Sankirtan, he will become a Grihastha. He will marry. And then if he is married, then he's finished. How he wants to spread a mission if he's a Grihastha? Not possible anymore, So he becomes bound up with the family life. But then the Kali says, Adharma, my dear friend, you are completely wrong oriented. You're not properly informed, about the power of this Brahmana boy, Nimai Pandit. Yes, I know, he will marry, but that will not stop his mission, because soon after he will take sannyas. and then he will spread the Sankirtan mission even more successful than before that. So I have no chance. That is described in this drama. It's a drama by Kavi Karnapur, where there's a discourse between Kali Yuga and Adharma. And from that, it appears that Adharma is more dangerous than Kali himself. Because Kali has some respect of the Sankirtan movement. Adharma has no respect. He still thinks I can influence anyone and make them weak. Because Adharma, he knows he can break Dharma with the Adharma principles. With illicit activities, illicit sex life, gambling, intermingling with many women, and women with men, so-called freedom in the movement, in the sampradaya, because we are modern sampradaya now. Melodies also adjusting to the age. We are not following traditional melodies anymore, not traditional mantras anymore. And Prabhupada was very strict with mantras and with melodies. When somebody was chanting wrongly or not chanting proper mantra, proper tune, Prabhupada immediately sent somebody and stop it. Or sing in very Sahaja way, and high tune, or Radhe, 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 and like that. It stopped. Prabhupada didn't like it. Because he said, we are the Hare Krishna movement, we are not the Radhe, Radhe movement. So it has to be stopped. It's not our mood. We follow Vidhi Marg. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. It's not our mood. And to artificially now imitating the moods from other sampradayas, or not even sampradayas, different moods, and adopt it, think, it's a far out mantra, I heard it, and maybe I also can bring it in our temple or in our yatra, so the kirtan will become more ecstatic. It's not like that. So we have to follow the mantra and the tilak given by the Acharya, by Prabhupada. Gopi Chandana, not Radha Kund tilak, not other tilaks. The Radha, we make tilak with Gopi Chandan. We're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We have two mantras, two Mahamantras, Panchatattva mantra and Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada said they are the two Mahamantras for the age of Kali, no other mantra. Other mantras are not in our Sampradaya. There are different bhajans, but mantra we have only two. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we have to stick to this mantra in the open kirtan, no other mantras. No Radhe Radhe mantras. In open kirtans, in public programs, and in the temple programs. We have to strictly follow the program given by our founder Acharya. Then we have blessings, then we can make advancement. Otherwise, we're just imagining something in our mind, but we consider rasa or ananda. But there's actually imitation ananda. Love to Krishna, the Kevala Ananda, what Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda brought, merciful avatars, it's not an imitation Ananda. It's not an imaginary Ananda. It's an Ananda that comes from the heart, from the soul. It will naturally come. Like when Lord Chaitanya was chanting mantra, receiving from his guru, Ishvarapuri. He thought, I became mad. I started to cry, to dance, to laugh, without considering what others think around. So I thought I became mad. So I went to my Guru Maharaj and asked him, Shripad, what kind of mantra you have given me? Because since I chant this mantra, it's like a magic. I feel joyful, I start to cry, to laugh, and hair standing. And then Guru Maharaj told him, my dear boy, my dear child, that's very nice. This is the symptom if one chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses, that these kind of symptoms of bhava, anubhava, becomes manifested in the body of a chanter, of a devotee, of a bona fide chanter. Therefore, please keep going with this kind of chanting. You please me very much because you're making advancement. I see your advancement in the chanting. And it is natural. It is natural if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that these kind of ecstatic symptoms are appearing. Only steel-framed heart will not melt by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But if one chants offenselessly Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then heart will naturally melt, and ecstatic love and symptoms will become manifest, although the devotee doesn't want it. He's not looking for it. He's not calling for it. Where are the symptoms now? Where is my tears? Where is my standing of hairs on end? Where is my my goose bubbles? How say? Goose bubbles. Goose bubbles. Goose bubbles?
You say goose bubbles.
How you call?
I say goose bumps.
Goose bumps. In German, Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut, like a chicken.
Like a chicken.
Chicken skin, become electricized. So these symptoms naturally will appear. So therefore Lord Chaitanya said, he actually in 7th chapter of Adi Lila, he describes how the symptoms of bhava appearing in his body by chanting Hare Krishna. Without that he asks for it. It comes naturally if you chant Hare Krishna. these ecstatic symptoms. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to imitate it. If the mantra will appear to you like sunshine rising in the morning, the fog and the darkness will immediately disappear. Kechit Kevala Bhaktya Vasudev Parayana. The Maha Mantra is like rising sun, and it removes the darkness of the ignorance. For all ignorances of the conditioned souls are removed. Bodily conception, false ego, fears, illusions, anxieties, all these different tamaguna will disappear. Ignorance is disappearing. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodao Gaudadaya Pushpavanto Chitta Shando Tamo Nadao. So this tama will remove, because the two brothers, Gornitai, appear simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda like sun and moon, to dissipate the darkness in the older people's heart. So by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by following the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and of his Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, then we become nourished by Lord Vishwambar, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and we don't will have any lack, any problem, any fears. So this is our fight. This is our surrender. What we have to do. We don't have to become Kshatriya now. To go start a battle somewhere. Now in this age, the battle is that's what I mentioned now. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Any question? Yeah.
Do you have any example of devotees following the process properly, but then having little some compromises or something like chanting too much other mantras, something like that, and then gradually this will lead in due course of time of starting to neglect some more fundamental principles, like something like that. Because it may seem not so dangerous if we chant, Hare Krishna Kirtan, and then we do 5 minutes Radhe in the end, but
no problem with Radhe Radhe, or but if you chant Radhe 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 Radhe, like in parikrama here, and devotees maybe also start to chant Radhe Radhe Radhe, or I see many times the devotees here greeting also Radhe Radhe. Although we are the Hare Krishna movement, we should greet with Hare Krishna, not with Radhe Radhe. We are imitating Prijapasi. Prabhupada never told Radhe Radhe. He greeted always with Hare Krishna. So we're all followers of Prabhupada, so we should follow that. Cannot follow only that what we like, what Prabhupada has given us, and say, oh, we are Prabhupada followers. Prabhupada Jai Jai, and chant Prabhupada's name in the morning, Guru Puja 10, 20 times. So now I'm Prabhupada follower. You think Prabhupada is pleased if you chant Prabhupada non-stop 5, 10, 20 times and make a Prabhupada kirtan, and you go around the temple and chant the Prabhupada name. And he also will not be happy. He will stop it and say, chant Hare Krishna. No, is it not like that, Mataji? Huh? Is it not like that?
That is exactly it.
No.
Showing glorification to Srila Prabhupada means to follow Srila
Yeah,
Prabhupada.
yeah. This I wanted.
Mean to
Yeah.
go out. In fact, Prabhupada said to Krishna Balaram Mandir, why go outside? Everything is here. So
Yes.
we don't need to bring anything in.
Like he told to one devotee, who always glorified Prabhupada in morning when he went to morning walk, Jai Prabhupada, and he chanted many mantras glorifying Prabhupada and Guru. No? Then Prabhupada stopped, and with the can, he showed to the ground and said, better you clean the floor here than to chant this kind of mantras.
Thank you so much again and again.
Haribo. So better you do something practical, than to just Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Same like Radhe Radhe, you know. You chant Radhe Radhe, why you chanting? That means we're asking for service, you know, not just chanting Radhe Radhe in a sentimental way. Therefore we chant Hare Krishna mantra in addressing Radharani to engage in Krishna service. Humble, you know. Not just like a machine, you know, like a machine gun. Radhe 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 Radhe. So it's okay for sometimes, you know, to chant these different names. Actually, Prabhupada told Radharani's name should only be chanted in Radhastami. Of course, here in Vrindavan, we chant Radha Shyama Sundar, Radha Shyam, or if it is related with the deity name, so you can chant. But don't make a kirtan out of it. Especially not in the temple and or in public programs. Because people should see we are Hare Krishna. That's our sampradaya. We are not Radheshyam movement, we are not Radhe Radhe movement, we are not Sitaram Hare Krishna movement, we are because here in Vrindavan you hear all kinds of mantras together. Somebody chants, one Baba chants Radha Govinda, Radhe Shyam and Sitaram. Completely rasa basa, you know, to chant all these mantras together in one time. So we have to chant the mantra in the proper way, as given by the spiritual master, because he knows which mantra is for the proper age and for the time, place, and circumstances. And in this age, we don't have to argue and speculate which mantra is the right mantra. So it's revealed by Lord Chaitanya, the Yuga Avatar. And he didn't invent it, so he quoted it from Upanishads. Hare Krishna mantra is there. So it's not a speculation mantra. Nowadays, so many invent mantras. You know, this is not mantra. Mantra has to come from parampara. Otherwise, it has no power. Any other question? Comment? What do you say? As a GBC? Huh?
Everything is clear.
Only clear?
We should follow Prabhupada instructions.
Yeah. And we have to, as an authority, one has to correct. If you see somebody is not chanting the proper, so you have to correct. And also in the philosophy and like that, or moods.
Maybe also very important if somebody would ask if where is Prabhupada say like this, we should know the quotation show to him in some later or some his instruction. Because now people so many arguments argue where Prabhupada say not chanting Radha Radha, we should immediately show to him. Sorry, this is
The best example is he himself, because as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you know, Lord Chaitanya, he didn't write any books where you find everything about Lord Chaitanya, what he said, you know.
But this is modern, you know, style.
No, this is
Generation,
it's
it's not easy like before, like in
yeah, but they have to be trained.
yes.
Otherwise, you know, there is, I would say, then they should not be surprised if there is no initiation for them. But initiation they want, not?
It means we should learn also Prabhupada books, which is important.
Yeah, of course, because you become initiated in the sampradaya, so that means you have to follow process of sampradaya. Otherwise, why you accept initiation in such a sampradaya? You can go to any other New Age sampradaya if you want to make some wishy-washy thing. No? It's not opinion, it is like that. Because we don't see Prabhupada with chanting these and that mantras, you know. We have so many songs of Prabhupada, you know. It's all Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna mostly, and bona fide Vaishnava songs from Vaishnavacharyas, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhakti-yoga Thakur. Nothing invented. So he was a truthful, chaste follower, Yes.
Dhanavir Goswami has a really wonderful article presenting where Prabhupada stopped the kirtan, all of his adjustments, and what he said regarding exactly what you're talking about.
Mm.
If people that can be sent around a lot, that would probably help them.
Yeah.
But I do have, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You mentioned about correcting. A lot of us are quite, new. And there's so many older people in Prabhupada's disciple, even the kirtan or or whatever.
Mm.
How do you really correct? Because you don't want to.
No, I say, of course, you as younger, you cannot correct, but I told if you're a leader or responsible, then you can maybe, humbly suggest. I know how it goes, one becomes maybe a little on ego and, but it's good if one tells. Otherwise, with the time, nobody will chant Hare Krishna mantra anymore. We chant so many other mantras, and so many different tunes, melodies in the wrong time. There's a story of Narad Muni. Narad Muni, one time, he met the ragas personified. Somewhere in his tour in the heavenly planets, he met the raga personified. Ragas. But the ragas personified were all crippled, different crippled bodies they had. Narad Muni was shocked and surprised, and he asked the ragas, "What happened to you?" And then the ragas said, "It's because of you, Narada. Because you're in your ecstasy, you chant the mantra, so many of your mantras in the wrong tune, in the wrong time. Therefore we became crippled." And then it makes it clear, that we have to learn how to sing proper tunes. Prabhupada made morning tunes, evening tunes, Gora Artik tunes, Mangala Artik tunes, Guru Puja tunes, Kirtan tunes, the melodies for Kirtan. It should be simple, not complicated. Nowadays, they make so many complicated ragas, and then nobody can follow. Nobody can repeat the mantra and follow the melodies. It sounds very good for the singer, who is in a professional way. But Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he stopped the professional or the nice kirtan singers, and he told, "You should sing," and he chose the one who was not good singer. And then he told, the main thing is not melody. We have to hear the mantra. And if we give attention more to melody and not to mantra, then we just become a nice melody singers. But actually, you don't remember Krishna and pray for service in the chant. It means the singers there has to be in a prayerful mood chant, not as a show, as a presentation of how nice singer he is. Therefore, we should not make a mela out of the chanting. We sing for the Lord, not for the public. If you sing for the Lord, automatically the public will be in ecstasy, because Krishna is happy. He is manifested in the kirtan. Not so? Huh? You agree? Huh? He's a kirtan singer there, so you agree? Yeah. So we have to sing for Krishna. Not sing for ourselves or for satisfying the public. Then it becomes sense gratification. And that will not give the change in the heart. Then after the chant, you'll still be the same. and your lusty desires are increasing. And then you wonder, oh, why my lusty desires are increasing? Because we are not concentrated in the chanting, absorbed in Krishna. That's the purpose of mantra, to absorb in Krishna, to fix our mind on Krishna, on mantra, Krishna mantra. Right? That's the battle. That's a challenge. Mind is rascal. He always wants to cheat us, to make us sentimental, and showman and showwoman, to show how much ecstasy we feel, in the melodies and in our chanting. But the truth is, what you will do privately when you are alone, what is going on in your mind. So the mind is important in the chant. That we also take the mind, drown it in the chanting, not only lip service. Like frogs, they can maybe also chant, or parrots. They can chant Hare Krishna. You can train them, But if you go on their neck, they immediately forget. It's just mechanical chanting. It's not realized chanting. It doesn't come from the heart, from the soul.
How about think about, when they
He will stop.
it's like 10
Immediately send some of his servants, secretaries, and stop. There are examples here in Vrindavan temple. When somebody was singing like that, Prabhupada immediately said, stop it. Okay, I'm already late, sorry. Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.